Hello friends, this is our fourth video in the CSS. In the last video we discussed about how to use margin, border radius and a box shadow. Now today we will be adding few more properties related to the text. Now to understand the text in better way, I'll remove the yellow background, I'll make it simple white background, and instead of this red border again I'll use a simple black border, or we have applied the shadow. That's why even if you remove the border, you will not find any difference because the shadow will highlight your card. Okay, so you can comment the border or you can remove it. Now let us talk about the text. So if you visit your HTML page, you will find that we have written this text directly within a div tag. We have not used any paragraph, we have not used in any other h1 or the text tag. So directly we will try to apply the property to this text which is there inside the box one. So go to your CSS file and try to write the properties for the text directly here. Now the first property I want to add is font size. So I'll use font hyphen size, and you can mention the pixel numbers. For example, if I'm writing 30 pixels, check your output. So your font size is increased by the 30 pixels. If you change it to the 20 pixel, your font size is now 20 pixels. So as per your requirement, you can use the different font size. By default, it is around 16 pixels. So this will be your default font size. If you remove this, you will see that it remains same. So default font size is 16% for any of the browser, and as per your requirement you can change. The next property related to the text is font color. So there is a no property named as font color. You have to just mention color colon and the name of the color. So I am using solid color, so I'll use red. Now you can see that there is a color for this text is red. Okay, or you can use black. Then the next property you can see is the property is line height. Line hyphen height. Once you use the line height property, the the line height should be in pixels again. Suppose I am mentioning 16 pixels. I'm using the same as that of font size, and you will see that there is a little bit change in your output. If I remove it, you will find a difference. Now this text having some different output and this text having a different output. Now to understand it in a better way, I'll write just a line height of 1 pixel and check your output what is happening. So after every pixel your next line is starting. After every pixel your next line is starting. Now again, to understand it in a better way, I'll write as 30 pixels. So after every 30 pixel your next line is starting. After every 30 pixel your next line is starting. So there is a gap in between the lines. So whenever you want to use an line height property, and if you want a gap between the lines, go for the line height. It should be greater than your font size. Remember this, it should be greater than your font size. If you make it smaller than your font size, so obviously it will mix up the two lines and it will not look not good look for our website. So always keep it greater than your font size, or you, if you don't want it, just don't use this property. Now the next property related to the text is the font weight. But before using the font weight, I'll try to tell you one more property, and that property is font hyphen family. Now once you write font family, now font family means the different types of the fonts. So you can write any of the basic font size. So I am using sans serif. You might have heard the sans serif font. So these are the safe fonts for your website. It is not like that every font is good looking for all the browsers. So you have to use the safe fonts. Now once you have used a font family as a sans serif, you can see the font is different, and once you have removed it, there was a different font. So there are different fonts available for the text. You can Google and you can use the different font families, or you can simply in the VS Code you will get the suggestions of different fonts and you can try the different fonts. Okay, so for this example I am just using sans serif and check the difference of your font family. Now the next property related to the text is font hyphen wet. Font hyphen wet. Now this wet property is typically used for the thickness of your font. Now it always starts from 100 to 900. So let us use the 900 without any pixel value. It's a unit directly as a 900 without unit. Now you can see the font is a little bit thicker than the previous one, right? And now let us change this value to the 100 and check your output. The font is thinner than the previous one. If you remove this, you will get the default thickness of the font, but if you use 100 it is a thinner, and if you use a 900 it is a thicker than the previous one. And you can use any value in between. For example, if I use 700, so it is a little bit thinner than the 900 value. If I use a 300, again it is greater than the 100 and less than the rest of the values. So this is how you can use the font weight. Now the next most important property is the text alignment. So the property name is text hyphen align, text hyphen align, and there are three types of alignment generally we use. By default you can observe your output that all the text is appearing in a same line from the left hand side but not from the right hand side. So it means that by default it is the left aligned text, so you have to mention left, so it will gives you the same output. Now if you change this left to the right, means you are using text alignment right. So you can see that the text from the right hand side it is well aligned but not from the left hand side. But most of the time we need align from the both the sides. So you have to use justify. You have to write text alignment justify. Now you can look at the output. It is justified from the left and right. And how it has adjusted, it is adjusting the internal space depending on the number of words present into that particular line. So if you want the alignment from equal from left and right, go for the justify, and if you don't want an alignment from the both the side, either left either right, or then you order one of them, that is left or right text alignment. Now next property is about the text transformation. So the property name is text transform, and text transform can be given in the three ways. First one is sometimes we need everything is to be in a capital letter. Whatever you have written in your paragraph or in your content, it doesn't matter, but I want all the text in a capital letter. So you have to write text transform as uppercase, and now you can check your output. The every text in your paragraph is in a capital letter. If I change it to the lowercase, so everything is in a lowercase. And sometimes you need a capitalize the each word basically in the headings, so the property value is capitalized. So you can capitalize each word. You can observe that every letter of the word, first letter of the word is capitalized. So this is text transform. The next property generally we use is letter spacing. So the property name is letter hyphen spacing, and value should be in pixels. So let us observe the output. So initially I'll use the higher value, for example 5px. So in every letter, in every character, there will be a gap of 5 pixels. And if you write only size, if you directly mention the size, so the gap between the two letters is the default size it will take. But if you mention some pixel value, so it will take that much gap in the different in the two characters. So that is the letter spacing. So if you know this much properties for any text, so you can create your own text in a beautiful way. So the property which we have used for the text are font size, color, line height, font family, font weight, font alignment, text transformation, and letter spacing. Try this much. We'll see you in the next video.